Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to the video, and this is a paid request for frame by frame. Thank you so much for that. I do apologize for the lateness of the video. I've said this a couple times before, but in case people didn't see them. January, a lot of requests came in, had some power outages, uncle passed away, so a lot of stuff to deal with, but I am trying to upload 4 or 5 videos a day, so I'm going to try to get these out as soon as I possibly can, so just bear with me. Thanks for watching. For those who do watch, thanks for the requests. For those who want to send in a request, PayPal is usually the best way to do it. Do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box. I'll get to it as soon as I possibly can. If topic, tier list, ranking, review, re-review, thought streams, commentaries, whatever the case may be, feel free. And like I said, I'll get to it as soon as I possibly can. And thank you for those who sent them in. I do appreciate it. And this is for Better Man, the 2024 biopic musical on Robbie Williams that became a massive bomb, cost like over $100 million, and it made only like $19 million. And I remember seeing the trailer for this and going, what is the deal with this? And to be fair, a lot of people did not know who Robbie Williams is. Now, I did, because I remember 2 songs from his. I remember Millennium, do, 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 and also Angels. Love and protection, whether I'm right or wrong, through the waterfall. Which I always liked those songs. But I always thought, okay, this is a very weird choice. You're doing a biopic, but he looks like a monkey. What's the deal with this? It is a gimmick. A gimmick that kind of failed it in terms of box office. Plus it didn't. People didn't know. A lot of people don't know who the hell Robbie Williams is. But it's kind of a shame because, believe it or not, folks, I really enjoyed this one. I thought this was a very nice surprise. I thought this was much better than expected. Because, yeah, it's a story you've heard many times before. A person that has some issues, including the abandonment, being abandoned by his father not loving him as much as he should have. That was always going to be a chip on his shoulder. Wanting to make it, wanting to be famous, not wanting to be a nobody. Having someone supportive, in this case, his grandmother, Betty. Getting the shot, getting the chance, which is part of this boy band called Take That. Success, but infighting the band, getting fired, going solo, meeting someone, drugs, addiction. Even if the solo career's going well, the personal life's going down in shambles. And kind of a redemption at the end in terms of rehab and sobriety. This stuff you've seen in multiple movies, but I thought it was very well done. And the gimmick was weird at first, but I kind of got used to it, and I kind of enjoy the gimmick now. Now, they do mention about how he feels he was less evolved than other people. Even by the end of it, about when he's in rehab, he tells about how he was stunted, he was unevolved, and I kind of just chalked it up to, oh, it's okay, but it wasn't really okay. My behavior really wasn't okay. Hell, it's the best Planet of the Apes film I've seen in a long time, the way I put it. I liked the music. Sad that Millennium wasn't in there, but Angels is in there. I like the rendition of it. Some of the scenes in this is just so well done on a visual level. Like, very ambitious. Like, there's a scene to the song Come Undone where he's just been fired from the band and he's driving down the highway. That's such a visceral montage of hallucinations that's really well done. Very well directed, just really good looking. So kudos to Michael Gracey and everybody else. the montages of him being on drugs, and hey, you want to see a monkey doing cocaine and a bunch of other stuff? Here's your movie. I think what it is, like the gimmick, it made at least, while the plot may not be unique, it's definitely honest. Robbie Williams is definitely able to make fun of himself and not sugarcoat things. It doesn't shy away from his mishaps. But man, this I thought was just a very interestingly well-told story. And what have I said many times? If you're going to do something, you got to be creative with it. Because so many stories have been told, so many movies have been made, more and more so with streaming services trying to get quantity instead of quality out of there, that you don't run into the similar stories being told, and it's like, okay, what's new about it? So they try to do something new that pertains a bit about, yeah, less evolved, and that's the gimmick. But like I said, wasn't sure about the effects at first, but as the story went on, that went away. I just accepted it, and I grew to like it. And then there's up close shots of his eyes and stuff that looked really good, and it just became the character. And there are points that made me laugh, the points that were sad. The soundtrack is, again, really good music. And it was always going to be a tough sell. Marketing-wise, it was always going to be a tough sell. Because Robbie Williams, I mean, obviously he's a success. But even in the UK, like, people didn't go see the film. So either they didn't remember Robbie Williams in today's age, or, again, a lot of people don't know who he is. He wasn't as marketable compared to other, Queen, Elton John, Elvis, among those. It was a risk to spend this much money on this project. And when you try to sell it to people, people go, that looks stupid, that looks goofy, that looks dumb. I'm not going to see the shit. Because I was the same way. I did the same fucking thing. And I don't blame other people for feeling that way, because I felt the same way. Which hurt his chances at the box office and made it a bomb. But at the same time, I feel bad for not giving the chance, because, again, talk about how films need to be unique and films need to take chances, and it did that, and it failed. But I'm glad we got the movie that we got. I never did a video on my favorite films of 2024, but this would be on there. I don't know where, but it would be on there. Because I really did enjoy this. Probably not top 5, but I did. It surprised me. So it shows when he's a kid, and Robbie Williams narrates his story about all the things people call me, that I'm punchable, that I'm a shit-eating twat. Tells about his story as a kid in 1982, north of England. How, like, he's at recess with these kids, and they're playing a soccer game, and he's supposed to be the goalie. He's like, yeah, I'm like a chainmail condom, nothing's getting through, but he gets his ass kicked. His grandma, Betty, is very supportive. I thought the lady did a wonderful job. You really felt a lot of warmth, a lot of heart from that character, which is essential for what happens later on. To how he grew with people, enjoying people like Frank Sinatra being an inspiration. His dad was really into that. You tell his dad really wanted to be a star. His dad really wanted to be famous. If you make it, it's paradise. If you don't, then nothing else matters. And then you have the kind of the grandma being very supportive, where the kid's very steered. I don't want to be a nobody. Listen, you'll always be somebody. And then you have the dad who doesn't see the kids play, where he's being like a pirate. Instead, he went to some place where he won like £5, and then abandons them and leaves on a bus. And while the mom's throwing stuff away, the kid, grab some stuff like the dad's comb and stuff, because that he like imagines singing with his dad and hanging out with his dad, and it makes you feel for it. Like the way it's directed, the way it merges from one scene to the other, merges from his reality to his fantasy, and then going back to reality again, and do it all seemingly like in one take. Definitely some ambition in here. Definitely some creativity in here. Again, the songs I feel really did enjoy the songs in this. So then he's grown up, more of it his teenage age. About, I'll go be fucking famous. And someone goes, shut up, you twit. Oh, fuck off. Like, that stuff made me laugh. He did this audition for this boy band. And he does a routine. Doesn't seem like it goes well, but then he comes back and goes, how about this? How about I tell him that you found your man, and then fuck off, okay? And he does a wink. And this, I mean, I think it was this weird thing with my head where, as dumb as this sounds, bear with me, I grew up enjoying stuff like Ninja Turtles, the cartoon, the movie. So to see figures that are, you know, animal nature by human form, but they're walking, talking. I mean, those Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny, all this stuff. That is a bit of an intrigue in the kid, sparks the imagination. And so when I see someone or something like that, but they're talking like anybody else and going through situations, and nobody else looks at the fact, like everyone takes it at face value. It's just the interesting way of telling the same biopic we've seen dozens of times. It just becomes a bit more fascinating to me as it goes along. To see this ape, you know, doing all these things, saying all these things. So it's that weird kind of kid-like spark of imagination that comes to the fray when I see this stuff. That just makes it that much more intriguing to me than if this was just a typical... If Robbie Williams just played himself, I would still think it's good, but I don't know if I would be as intrigued going through it as it is now. That's just me, though. And it's a 2-hour film, but it went at a pace that I was never bored. I thought it went pretty fast and quick enough. It didn't dawdle. And it just at times visually well done. Like I said, at times made me chuckle. Like the boy band members of Take That. In 5 years, we're all going to hate each other. But we'll be rich. And apparently, what they did back in the day is the manager had them go to gay bars first. But then go to places with girls in them that got them more famous. And just visual stuff like the montage in the vehicle where it shows like him doing certain different things and different placements to show like the passage of time. Or this song Rock DJ, which is like the celebration of this success. That looks, they make it look like it's all done in one take. It's a pretty lengthy bit. Where like on the streets and they kick a soccer ball and it hits a guy in the head and they change into these suits and then these gumballs where people are almost falling and then they get back to their dancing and they're going through stores and trying on stuff. They go out of stores and there's like women in scooters that they're dancing with, and it's all this like really nicely done choreography. And then like the lead, Robbie, you know, he gets in a double-decker bus and then falls, jumps off it, and the way it made it look like all in one take, like very nicely choreographed, much better than shit in Joker 2. I damn well bet I would like this more than Wicked, because Wicked always looked like shit to me. But Wicked got all the box office. As if Wicked isn't a weird fucking idea either. It was based on a Broadway, I don't give a fuck. I would bet money, dollars to donuts, I would like this movie a lot fucking better than Wicked. fuck with you. But that made all the money and shit. Just how it is. Although I'm at fault too, because I didn't see this in the theater either. Because I watched it at other places. To be fair, there's really no theaters around here I could get to, because it's too far away. I'm kind of out in the middle of nowhere. So, it is what it is. But I thought that was a very impressive bit of choreography. And I said there's funny bits, like they have to do these school seminars. Like, don't be a fool, cover your tool. They have to talk to ladies about safe sex. Don't be a fool, cover his tool. And the way that's all done, I thought was pretty funny. There's infighting with the band where Robbie wants to have some of his lyrics, some of his singing in there, but not allowed. Because if you're able to get songwriting credit, you're able to get more money. But instead, this guy Gary's getting all the money while the others aren't getting paid much. So there's like a concert where Robbie starts singing. He does this bit where he turns around and gives him a middle finger real quick. Gets back to sing. I thought that was pretty funny. And then when he gets fired, let go, there's this bit where the song is Come Undone, which probably one of my favorite songs on the soundtrack. And he's driving through the gate. And he's driving down the highway, going in and out. And just the way it all looks, where at one point there's these red flares that looks like he's descending through hell. And then all these weird hallucinations. And it looks like he's going to hit something, but he goes through water. And he's trying, but then he's trapped under the ice. Then all these people are grabbing him and pulling him down. These nice wide shots. I'm like, wow. This is so much more visually interesting and unique than, again, Joker 2 or some of these other fucking musicals of late. Now, I'm a guy that have said I'm not big on musicals. But if they're done well, and that's personal opinion, subjective, like A Star is Born, that's a different type of musical. That's, anytime they sing, it's the concert. So it's a different type. But it's a biography. Well, it's a remake more than that. That feels like a biography. But anyway, like A Star is Born, I liked that with Bradley Cooper. I liked this more than Bohemian Rhapsody. I really did. Because Bohemian Rhapsody I wasn't big on. But pretty much he's out on his own. He meets this girl Nicole, who's part of this band called All Saints. There's some infighting he has with the Oasis. Apparently, like, the Gallagher brothers were dicks. Like Liam Gallagher, and they showcase him as being pretty much dicks. Again, like, whether it be the dancing with the cold girl or the weird, like, montages of the drugs and how things are getting worse and worse and worse for him. And while he's getting more success on the stage with the solo albums, it's just not working out. Like, you really feel for the character. You really get to feel his highs and lows and his journey. And it goes in a consistent enough pace that I didn't feel like we were stuck at something for too long. But I was still able to get the gist of it, so it didn't feel like it was too short either. Now, my favorite song is definitely Angels. I knew that song before I saw this. I like the rendition they had here. I thought it fit well. Which is, spoiler, his grandma passes away. So a lot of it's like him singing it on stage, and then him at the funeral. Thankfully, they do play the full song. Because I do think it's a great song. Part of me wished it was a little bit more intricate, where there are times maybe he's running, and like, it's like some of the other songs, there's a little bit more intricate in choreography, or they're still well filmed. Like maybe like part of the crystal, maybe that part where he's in water and through it, and he rushes out. Oh, But I still thought it was a pretty good song. I just something about it. I just want a little bit more. I don't know how to put into words. His dad at one point has gotten back to the fray to be his manager, but of course there's some friction there. Like, okay, you're fine with me when I was Robbie Williams, but not when I was Robert Williams. That's the only other nitpick I have. Spoilers is by the end he forgives his dad, but I thought the dad. He does say sorry, but it wasn't enough for me. I think the guy really needed a lot more. I don't know. Like part of me is like this guy doesn't deserve to be forgiven, and I kind of almost thought he kind of got a pass almost the father character, because he at the end he thanks him and they get on stage and sing "My Way" Frank Sinatra style, and I just thought the dad kind of he got a bit more of a pass than I wanted. That's just me. I thought he didn't do enough of an apology. Not, you know, I don't know. Maybe there were moments they showed him looking through pictures of his of his family from back then and really showing his regret. I never really saw the father's regret on what he did. The father's regret. I think if he had some scenes that really showcased more of that, contemplating what he did and what he should have done, what he should not have done, maybe that could have helped. But again, that's one of the few nitpicks I have with it. There's a crazy scene where he's doing like this big concert, and then as he's doing the concert, he sees past versions of himself. And then you have like an action scene where he's fighting all his past selves and like stabbing them and impaling them, including the little kid version of himself, and he fucking stabs. So you see someone stab a little monkey boy slowly in the fucking chest. It's like, Jesus Christ. I didn't expect that. That was a bit... But it's symbolic, and then you see like he's trying about it. Like, I get what it was going for, but that was pretty interesting, crazy way to do it. Then I expect that one. What the fuck? Like I said, very ambitious. It's pretty, and it's soon after he goes into rehab and things, and makes his apologies to people, grows to try to be a better man, hence the title. I actually thought what they were going to do was, once he's rehabilitated, like he was going to do something, and then it would be Robbie Williams in actual form, human form. And so it'd be from unevolved to now from ape to man. I thought they were going to make that transition. It probably would have made a bit more sense thematically. I guess they just wanted to keep with the... Because I guess if they showed him as an ape as a kid, which he wasn't, I mean, maybe just thought that'd be a bit... But at the same time, I mean, you're not looking for logic. I mean, he looks like an ape, so it's all about thematically anyway, so it doesn't bother me a whole lot, but it's just something I thought they were going to do. Like, he's down on rehab, he comes on stage, all of a sudden it's Robbie Williams. The actual, I don't know. But yeah, this I really enjoyed. This was a nice, pleasant surprise. The music was good, the choreography, the sequences, the musical numbers were creative, very well directed. The gimmick, the more it played out, the more interesting it was. And it was a nice tale of redemption, sobriety, a person that had so much self-doubt, never thought he was worthy, never thought he was worth it, wanted to be loved, never thought he was good enough, and eventually let it go and just stuck with who he was, which is some nice themes. So overall, this is a nice, pleasant surprise. Batman. I quite liked this one. So, take that for you all. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later.